Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be looking at the ROG Ally X with the OneXGPU 2 and Cyberpunk. And what I'm going to do first is actually run a benchmark on the maximum settings on the internal display of the Ally X, and then we'll flip over to a 4K monitor, and then we'll run a benchmark on there, and then I'll show you actual gameplay on 4K with this game. So first, on the OneXGPU 2, I do have turbo on, and that's the purple light. It's automatically defaulted to that, and this is a 7800M graphics card in it from AMD. And you can see in the AMD software that I'm using the optional driver. This is the most recent one, so I'll leave a link to that in the description in case you want to update to that. But this is the one from February 10th. And so you can see that I have the 7800M is set to the GPU 2, and the 780M, the graphics card, and the iGPU is set to APU 1. Alright, so for the settings on Armory Crate, I have it at 17 watts TDP because we don't need to maximize the power on the Ally X. We want to maximize the power on the eGPU, so we want to reduce the amount of power that we need on here. CPU boost is turned off, and you can see that it's set to 1080p. And then if we go here, we're actually going to just flip it over to Ultra settings for preset. There we go. And now let's run the benchmark. And up here, you're going to see from Riva Tuner the overlay. We have an overall of 72.26 FPS. The mins were hitting at 57.69, and the maxes were hitting at 90.72. So let's flip this over to the external monitor, and I'll put it on 4K settings, and we'll see what we can get from the benchmark there. And then again, I'll do some gameplay after that. Alright, I'm flipped over to the external display. You can see here that it's at 1440p and 144 Hertz. Now we're going to run a high benchmark first and see where that lands us before we get into actual gameplay. I want to make sure that it's actually going to be playable at high settings. Alright, so 49.24 on average, that's alright. I would probably lower the settings to actually play, just to try to get at least a 60 FPS average. So if you're going to play on 4K, maybe low or medium settings. But the highs on there are 59.25, and then we saw with the internal display on 1080p Ultra that it was at 72.26 on average. Alright, so I'm loaded in at 4K high settings. And we're getting 48 FPS. Which again, like, it looks good. But I would probably lower it so you can get a little bit higher FPS. But the fact you can hit 4K on this with this eGPU using the Ally X is actually pretty sweet. Let's start some stuff.
This is 331 responding. My neighborhood. I'll take you for tacos sometime.
Yeah, like, this is definitely playable. Again, I would go for the higher FPS, but 4K on this? Sweet. So there you have it, with the OneXGPU 2 and the Ally X, an external monitor, 4K, you can definitely make it work. It's a powerful eGPU, a great option if you don't have an eGPU and you want to upgrade with your device and what it can do. But that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, leave me a comment, ask me a question, subscribe if you haven't already. Take care everyone, until the next one.